Hi all, very good morning. In this video lecture I wish to talk about the topic chromatography. I think that for you the term is very familiar because you are learning it from your plus 1 plus 2 classes onwards. So in this video I wish to discuss what do you mean by chromatography, what are the types of chromatography. Okay. So let us, before discussing chromatography in detail, let us discuss how this term is evolved. Actually, it is formed from two Greek words. First one is chroma and second one is graphene. Chroma means color. Graphene means to write. So we can say that chromatography is a color to write, which means after that we will be separate the components. Actually, the meaning of chromatography means this separation of components. What will be the chromatography? One of the application is it's an analytical technique for separation, purification, identification of individual components in a mixture. That is the basic principle. The main application. The basic principle is that differential distribution of variance components of a mixture between two invisible phases, stationary phase and mobile phase, according to adsorption or partition coefficient, which means here I am saying that here the main thing where application is the separation, identification and purification of components. And this process or this separation or identification or purification of components is mainly due to the differential distribution. What do you mean by differential distribution? The ability to distribute in difference, which means if I am taking a component A and component B, I am passing that components through this or through these techniques, they will be distributed in difference, which means they are distributed in different way. So ഒരെണ്ണം സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പോലെ ആയിരിക്കണമെന്നില്ല മറ്റേത് ഡിസ്ട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഐ എം സെയിങ് ദാറ്റ് എവിടെ ഡിസ്ട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു? ഓൺ സ്റ്റേഷനറി ഫേസ് ആൻഡ് മൊബൈൽ ഫേസ് അക്കോർഡിംഗ് ടു ദ അഡ്സോർപ്ഷൻ ആൻഡ് പാർട്ടീഷൻ കോഎഫിഷ്യൻറ്റ്. Due to the difference in adsorption and difference in partition coefficient difference ഉണ്ട് the components distribute ചെയ്യുന്നത്. That is the actual basic principle behind this. What do you mean by stationary phase? What do you mean by stationary? Stationary is a simple term. It is a fixed phase. It can be solid or liquid supported on an inert solid, which means stationary എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it's not movable, stationary ആണ്. Through that we are passing the another phase. Okay, the examples are paper, silica, alumina, etc. Then mobile phase. What do you mean by mobile? Mobiles mean movable. So it is the moving phase. It causes separation of components of mixture. It can be liquid or gases. Simple ഇത്രയുള്ളൂ. We are passing a mobile phase and a components to we put mobile phase and component to stationary phase. By passing this mobile phase through stationary phase, the separation will be happen due to the difference in adsorption or partition coefficient. That actually these components will be taken by the mobile phase itself. But the main separation is taking place on the surface of stationary phase. That is the importance. Okay. Let us discuss the classification. There are two types of classification. One is based on the mechanism and second one is based on the phases. Let us discuss the classification based on mechanism. They are adsorption chromatography, partition chromatography and ion exchange chromatography. First of all, let us discuss adsorption chromatography. From this term itself, it is clear that this is a chromatographic technique which is based on adsorption, which means here the components is get separated or purified or identified is mainly due to difference in adsorption. What do you mean by adsorption? Adsorption is a surface phenomenon which binds the components on the surface of a molecule. What is the molecule? Here the stationary phase. If you passing something into the adsorption medium, then if you pass a mobile phase through that, These components is separated or adsorbed at different regions. Simple example, I am taking a mixer which consisting of component A and a component B. Nanostationary phase എടുത്തു. The thing is that കമ്പോണൻറ്റ് എ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സാധനത്തിന് പെട്ടെന്ന് നമ്മളുടെ സർഫസുമായിട്ട് അഡ്സോർബ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ദെൻ കമ്പോണൻറ്റ് ബി ഒരിക്കലും അതെന്ന് പറയുന്ന സമയത്ത് എക്സ്റ്റെൻറ്റ് ഓഫ് അഡ്സോർപ്ഷൻ വളരെ കുറവാണ്. If I am putting both these components on the top of the adsorption medium, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ ഈ പറയുന്ന സ്റ്റേഷനറി ഫേസിന് മുകളിലിട്ടു, ഐ ആം പാസിങ് സം മൊബൈൽ ഫേസ് ത്രൂ ദാറ്റ്. ഈ മൊബൈൽ ഫേസ് പാസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിനനുസരിച്ച് എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? ദി കമ്പോണൻറ്റ് ഗെറ്റ് പെനട്രേറ്റഡ്. പക്ഷേ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? ഈ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദിസ് പെനട്രേഷൻ മോർ അഡ്സോർപ്ഷൻ കപ്പാസിറ്റിയുള്ള കമ്പോണൻറ്റിനെ സ്റ്റേഷനറി ഫേസ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? പിടിച്ചു നിർത്തും. And the component having less ability to adsorb അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ലെസ് അഡ്സോർപ്ഷൻ പവറുള്ള സാധനങ്ങൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? പതുക്കെ എല്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് ഇറങ്ങാൻ തുടങ്ങും. But by the passage of this mobile phase can break the bonds between this stationary phase and components. But due to there is no restriction, and the component be adsorbed having less ability to adsorb. So in this due to the passing of mobile phase will cause the separation of components. So we can see that this separation is mainly due to difference in adsorption coefficient. So I am reading this component. Some examples are column, TLC, etc. In the stationary phase is solid or liquid supported on an inert solid. The mobile phase is liquid or gases. കാരണം എന്തുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും? ബിക്കോസ് സോളിഡ്സിന് ഇങ്ങനെ കടന്നു പോകാനുള്ള കപ്പാസിറ്റി ഇല്ല. ആൻഡ് സെപ്പറേഷൻ occurred due to difference in adsorption coefficient. Second one is partition chromatography. It's a simple, this is a chromatography technique in which these components are separated. Difference in partition. Partition means the components can be distributed, the ability to distribute in liquid medium. That is actually that. In this stationary phase is a liquid supported on inert solid. The mobile phase is liquid or gas. Separation occurred into the difference in partition coefficient. Next one is ion exchange chromatography. In this type, stationary phase is an ion exchange resin and distribution based on ion exchange and based on ion exchange principle. And this is used for separation of ionic species. Let us discuss the based on mobile phase classification. Two things which are there are two possibilities. One is liquid or other is gas. If we are using liquid as the mobile phase, then that is known as liquid chromatography. The mobile phase is liquid and stationary phase is maybe solid, then it is known as LSC, that is liquid solid chromatography, or liquid separated on a net solid. That is liquid is actually the stationary phase, that is known as LLC, example HPLC, etc. Then next is gas chromatography. Here the stationary phase is whatever solid or liquids, but the mobile phase should be gas. The mobile phase is gas and stationary phase is solid, then it is known as GSC, gas solid chromatography, or liquid supported on inert solid, that is known as gas liquid chromatography. That's about today's video. Have a nice day.